to summarize this portion of the program, is that I am telling the user enter number of rooms. And then I found a kind of ugly and tedious way to uh, to categorize my inputs in such a way that if they said 3, hopefully I will be asking only for 3 rooms. The rest of the rooms, room 4 and room 5, already initialized to a blank string. So if I attempt to print those rooms, it'll be okay because they will be printed simply as blank, um, you know, blank lines or blank fragments of text printed. What is a bit unusual about what I just did here, that typically when I'm programming and not talking, I probably will compile this code more often. I will not delay my compile time until I'm like almost done with the part of the program. That's just my style. I really prefer to compile as often as possible, especially if I'm testing new features, and for many of you, scanner is still a new feature, and the dynamics of the variables and so forth. So keep that in mind. So, but let me just hold my fingers crossed and hopefully nothing is terribly wrong. So if I run it, let me see how it works. So for the first time. Okay. So it says enter a number of rooms. All right. I'll carefully say 3. Okay. So it says type of room 1. I'll say kitchen. K stands for kitchen. Right. Then 2, the dining room. 3 is the bedroom. I could really be typing names of those things. So nothing else happens. I entered 3 rooms and the program exits. And that's sort of like intentional because for unknown reason, we collect these rooms and we're really not doing anything with the collected information. But an interesting observation is that I did type in I want 3 rooms and I was asked for only 3 of them. A portion of this homework assignment is asking you to print the report, which includes the street name, the total number of rooms, and then total area, and then list entered rooms here. So simply because of my kind of oversimplified arrangement to begin with, that let me have all rooms initialized with empty string, it will be safe for me now if I wanted to say system dot out dot print print line, I guess, and I can print something that I can essentially copy and paste from here, total rooms, Control C, and I can just have this with space of some sort, total rooms, and I will apparently, you know what, let's use separate print statements for chunks of this information. So I'm switching to a print statement here so that I'm not including automatic new line at the end. So I'm going to print on the next line, I'm going to print a number of rooms, right? That's the name of the variable I created there. I'm going to print number of rooms. Then I need some sort of a space right here. And then I will print on the next line, I can say print room 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll just construct that as an output, something like this. That's about right. So room 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. But I still need to separate them maybe by space. So I need to add extra space in between. This should all compile just fine. Right, so I'll just insert plus space in front of or after each room, in my case. as soon as it begins to run away from me, in the horizontal position like this, you can do many things. You can just do it this way. A lot of people do it this way, like sort of like instead of going horizontal on all of this output, simply go vertical like that. Compiler doesn't care as long as you think that this code is looking good and appears to be properly aligned and everything. That makes sense. And then, of course, maybe I need to print a new line at the end. So I will just use a print line, blank arguments there so that all the rooms are printed and the new line is inserted right at the end of that. Okay, so again, written some code, first time to compile it. Number of rooms, I'll try 2 rooms to make it shorter. Okay, so it's going to be a kitchen and a bedroom, okay? So maybe like a studio. So there you go, total rooms 2, and maybe you can improve the output and make it more readable. Maybe even insert like a comma, like comma over here, so that we display a list with comma separated set of things. But remember, if I rerun this and say number of rooms is say 4, and I'll just type something to enter the room types. So unfortunately, it does print the empty comma at the end, but that's sort of expected. That's okay. You can experiment with the format of your output and find the most suitable one. So here's what comes with this assignment as well, is that there's this, many people have asked this question. There's this important requirement that says your program should keep the line count in a separate variable and print the line numbers in your report using that variable as shown. So let me demonstrate this, because perhaps it did create some confusion about about this requirement. So what is intended is this. Perhaps what I can do is let me demonstrate it this way. Total rooms, and I will print number of rooms, and I will print this, I guess, separate my output by new line. And this way I print rooms on a separate line. So let me show you what I mean. I will basically use this type of this much space. Well, I guess what I can do is copy and paste this, and instead of saying total rooms, just like put some blank spaces in there and format it this way. Control X. So as you can see, I created this sort of like a long line of blank spaces in this text. So when I print this, I'm going to push this output a little bit to the right to keep the output looking good. And I also inserted the printing of a blank line. Let me demonstrate. So I save what I have, run it again, and in this case, number of rooms 3. Okay, so there will be kitchen, bedroom, and I don't know, dining. Okay, so see what happens this time. I say total rooms over here, and the room types are these things on the next line. Well, what I could probably improve to say room types. So I deal with this formatting a little bit. Total rooms, colon, room types, colon, something like that, and see if I can align everything nicely so that everything gets printed as expected. Let's run this again with some of these ideas in mind. So room 1, again, kitchen, living, and bathroom. Okay. 3 rooms in room types are getting printed. Okay. So this is essentially some ways to achieve like nice looking formatting. You could criticize me to say, no, that's not really good looking, but whatever, do your own version of it. I am not specifically requiring you to do it this way or the other way. Any questions? Yes.
Why does it show up with a double comma after bathroom? I can understand one of them, but not the second one.
You talking about this portion or?
No, down where it's printed.
Uh-huh.
See after bathroom? No, on the bottom.
There's a couple of commas.
Yeah, why is there?
Because a room 1, okay, let me make sure that I display it. A room 1 is entered as kitchen.
Yeah.
So kitchen plus comma right here is printed. Then the dining room or whatever that was plus comma is printed. Then room 3 is printed, right, which was bathroom.
Bathroom. I can understand the first comma,
right?
The second one.
But then room 4 and room 5 are still printed as blank chunks of text,
okay.
and they still are displaying commas. So this looks confusing, but to hell with this real estate lawyer, right? Or whatever. So anyway, but that's the reason why the blank. Yeah, yeah. Because I had this all hardwired, and this can be greatly improved. Yes, another question. Yes, of course. More if statements, or maybe more. You see, the ugliest part of this program right now is that we're not storing a collection of rooms. Instead, we decided to go with the hard-coded set of variables with those, unintelligent names: room 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
So if we were using variables such as room parentheses 1.
Yes, if we were using an array of variables of this type, that would give us much more flexibility. And of course, we're going to cover that pretty soon.
Now, you said that this was going to be printing out the line numbers. I don't see that it's doing
That is the next portion here. Yes, where are the line numbers? That's where we're getting.